I don't want to play Victoria early because I want the flexibility to be able to copy her with Frigga if we draw Frigga later. So I'm going to open on Luke Mirage here. A lot of Malekith decks are Ajax decks. Yep. Which means I'm a little sad I played my Luke out early. Lovely. Okay, so when their Red Guardian misses, we snap them because usually they don't have another. Usually they don't have another way to deal with Lucas.
Victory.
Malekith decks are often Ajax decks. Yes, they play Malekith for consistency to find their own Luke Cage and Hazmat typically. Crimson Cosmos isn't as bad for this deck as it is for some of the things I enjoy. You can play an Anti-Venom in there, and then Mr. Fantastic can reach out in. This set of locations got really awkward really fast. Will Strange Supreme keep the power of a merged card and then get an additional +2? Yes, the rules text of merged is they combine the power. And then he gets +2 on top of that. I think Strange Supreme will likely be a staple in Thanos decks moving forward. I'd be kind of surprised if it's good with Infinity Ultron. Does Strange Supreme pull from other lanes? Yes. Yes, he does. I hate your Fister Mantastic variant. He gives me nightmares. He has the bad touch that you need, chat. Ready to get a little handsy. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're probably losing the Warpath. This is probably game winning, yeah. That's what, 7, 8, 15, 17 here, and we're adding another 4 over here just in case. I mean, Speed and US Agent are both solid pickups, and I assume Infinity Ultron is getting his first of a few buffs in the OTA this week. Although his first one coming so quickly means you'll probably be waiting for another to make him actually playable. I think we do this and don't play the Hood, both because I don't want Hood in the center, and I want the option to draw Frigga to copy Moonstone, I think. We take those. Mirage might be one of the most underrated cards in Marvel Snap, but ironically, she's so strong. I cannot believe they stayed here. Holy, the disrespect. So these two will make this cost 2, and then next turn I can go Luke, Mockingbird, Demon, and then whatever I draw. Do you think they realized they were killing their cards here with the Misery? I really don't understand Loki in this Thanos deck at all. It's puzzlingly silly to me. I think we spread like this because they could be a Shang-Chi deck, so I just want to play for all 3 cleanly here. Although I probably don't need Mockingbird over here, right? Putting Cage somewhere not here to dodge Enchantress is a good shout. Because Luke's gonna add 8 over here, yeah? Cool. What an absolutely massive case of Shang Brain. Just like peak Marvel Snap gameplay here. YOLO to the Loki. Stayed in a spot they shouldn't stay because they could check something. Largely dead to known information. Belly Snout, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Samo, thank you for the 14 months. Good morning, good morning. Vibin on the hood because Nico has 2 modes she can roll that clear its body. They are a Killmonger deck, so that changes the dynamic. Against a deck likely playing Death, I want to wait to play Mirage until later into the game, ideally. Because it can grab their Death at a reduced cost.
What a game!
I can't wait to see Hood in live action. Yeah, he's gonna be in Ironheart, yeah? Coming up. Yes, Mirage can also grab a big Deadpool later, potentially, as well. I guess that's why Hood is coming to Rivals. Yeah, that would make sense. As Marvel Snap's premier Hood enjoyer. Luxury Milk, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. And then next turn will be our Mirage turn.
What a game!
Although I suppose we're gonna have priority here, aren't we? Are we? Yeah, we are. That's unfortunate. Maybe I shouldn't have played Mr. Fantastic out. No, we don't. We're 1 in 10. That's perfect. Yeah. JK, lol. We'll chill on her for now. So I get their 16 power Deadpool here, and then I get to Shadow King their Venom.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
Sorry, my 20 power Deadpool. They have enough to null and Deadpool is the problem. I can't beat Deadpool everywhere. Zola gives... I mean, I think if they have Zola, they're gonna like Zola Deadpool here, right? And then Shadow King murders them. Does this beat Deadpool left? It's 3, 10, and then another 10. Yeah, this beats Deadpool in every lane, so I think we're good. Oh, I forgot I only had 5 in the center. Shoot. Shoot. Oh man, I miscounted. Oh, in my brain I was winning the center with the Shadow King. Okay, so my mistake is this game the correct play is Nico center wins every time. It beats every permutation they have. Because Nico center means we're beating Deadpool in all 3 lanes. Because Shadow King here clears the Deadpool, and then I'd be 7 to 6. And I'd still have 18 here, and Deadpool's only 16, and I'm beating 16 power Deadpool like I did. So if I put Nico in the center and I plus it up here, that gets us there. Cool. Small miscount on my side. Was trying to count too many things in too many places. Well, that's why I play with points of power and stuff, right? Like you have to count your points into all 3 spots. It's much harder than just like playing 2 tech cards, right? How's the stamping going? Our games have been pretty good today. We finished our high voltage chores for the season, which is nice. Regular ladder's been very reasonable. Victory. Yeah, to the person I fragged that accused me of having Shang brain there, apologies for not playing out permutations of 6 different cards across 3 different lanes every time. Apologies for miscounting by 1. Well, counting out playing 6 cards across 3 lanes. What happened with the Twitch drops? The initial push of Twitch drops that went up yesterday morning were bugged, and they had to restart them. So if you did your drops before 7 p.m. on Monday, your progress has been restarted, so you'll need to do 6 hours still. This deck has Jeff 5. This deck is basically everything I love about Marvel Snap. It's doing so much that I enjoy. Did you and Bro do that on purpose to keep the viewer count? I mean, unironically, as a content creator, it was the best possible outcome for me. I told my wife last night, I was like, I'm not gonna be surprised if they just cancel them this cycle. So when I found out the news of not only are they not canceled, but everybody has to watch twice as much, I was just like, all right, yeah, you know, we take those. Probably cooked with them having hand Quinjet Patriot. We'll see. Maybe this Anti-Venom is crazy. Call me maybe. This is the one card I could scam myself into staying with on the draw. Especially with the lockjaw on the left. Fine. Yeah, it might be right to put... The fact that miniaturized lab here is kind of screwing with us too, unfortunately. It's very possible I'm supposed to have put this Victoria hand here. Yeah, it's Iron Patriot Lockjaw. Yeah, I just can't stay. They high rolled their dog. Shouldn't have stayed when they snap. Freaking Victoria hand draw counted me into it.
Escaped.
The sweet sirens call. Shadow King left wouldn't win. They could move Rocket and Groot and roll another card there, gamer. I'm also not guaranteed to win the center with the Moonstone. And my Kate loses 2, but my Frigga gains 1, so it's still a net 1 loss on the Shadow King on the left. And the Lockjaw was buffed from their Victoria hand, so Shadow King didn't touch that. So no, Shadow King. Shadow King was very, very bad play there, actually. Walking through everything that happens. Very extra not good.
Opponent snapped.
It's fine, I'm gonna stay. We played against Destroy a few times today, though. Throw that again. Collapse Mine's a little scary. Shadow King looking stellar. They messed up, yeah. Does it ever torch the torch this turn? Well, the next turn I can play this.
systems go.
Oh. I think we're dead, unfortunately. No way this wins it. I needed Shadow King to go here, I think, so I could drop Pim Arrow over on the left. Or not just be locked out of there deterministically. They have a 10 power human torch in their hand from the Frigga.
Escape.
People who are just joining us. So we can do this, and then we can Frigga and Victoria on 3. What do you plan for Strange Supreme? Strange Supreme is a Clog card. Clog card and a Thanos card. Grapple Arrow is awesome. Let's just get into the altar later. Of all the locations in Marvel Snap, these are 3 of them. Okay, so we're denying them their Iron Patriot. Grapple Arrow going to the left is great. Very funny looking grapple animation there. That's a piece of candy. Yummy, yummy candy. I guess I could eat it to an Enchantress. Chuki. Thank you for the over 5.5 years. Welcome back. Holy video gamers. Good golly. What do we think of this? So that way we crunch their Enchantress in the middle. I could play Misery Center, but that's less good against Enchantress. Misery Grapple. These are going to the left anyways. I think we win this, yeah. Oh no! I lose the left and right by 1. Oh, I messed up. I guess they didn't have that many points, right? So I would have won with... It feels so bad to not punish all these stupid tech card enjoyers. So Misery Center would have been... I guess it was just a flip, yeah? I guess it actually just comes down to a coin flip. Because if I play Misery Center here, I beat this by 1. But then if Lizard goes middle, I lose. But if the way this happens, if Lizard goes center... Oh, no, because Enchantress was getting rid of Lizard. Enchantress is getting rid of Lizard's penalty. Because they Lizarded first. Misery Right could have been a play as well. So Misery Right loses the right every time. But if I expect I'm getting Enchantress, maybe that's the play. But I'm never better than a coin flip here, right? Because of their tech card. Normally, Enchantress is not a big deal for our deck because we can spread our ongoings out in a meaningful way. However, when Ben Brode rears his ugly head and decides you can only play into one location organically, you get another thing coming. That's true too. We also win that game if they had chosen to nerf. If they had chosen to nerf, what's it called, in a remotely reasonable time frame. Our 4/7 losing to their 2-drop is deeply offensive. Agree with that. I can't believe, like, I really think they've just been failing in terms of their OTAs in recent memory. Like, it's easy and obvious to point out that, like, yeah, we've had a lot of underpowered cards, but, like, they've also been really slow at dialing back in the overpowered things as well. It's so, like, Sam Wilson still being at his release text is really strange to me. I think I'm staying, yes? There's no way they're filling left this turn, yeah? It's just like, I have a Shang, so I'm snapping you? This is totally just a I have a Shang snap, yeah?
Power must be controlled.
Cool. Should I snap that back here? I guess I'm not getting that much on the left. We need to beat 21 left. Why do I need to beat 21 on the left? Can you explain? What am I missing? They already used the Fenris. The monster's there, gamer. It just doesn't beat stature is the problem. I guess this is getting big from the Moonstone. Yeah, we're a little short. Oh, we're not. We win by 1 point. I forgot the Odin was gonna get the Victoria hand bonus too. I forgot Odin was getting +4. Got him. What a sicko. This deck is just everything good and pure about Marvel Snap. I love it. So many ways to bob and weave around all their nonsense. All right, let's take a pause for the cause to let some adverts roll. We're gonna play another set with this when we return for sure. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. I'm really surprised they played into the basic arrow path, considering I was threatening to plus it a bunch. I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick, gamers. BRB. I assume Anti-Venom is worth 6,000 tokens. I actually think most of the Series 5 cards in here are like quintessential poster children of like the best types of cards you could spend your resources on in Marvel Snap. Because not only is like Anti-Venom and Victoria Hand and Frigga like powerful effects, but they're powerful effects that I would describe as mechanically unique. Meaning they serve a role in a deck like this that you can't replace with another card. And I think you shouldn't just spend your resources based on power level in a game like Marvel Snap that does life balance. You should spend your resources on cards that unlock decks for you. And the types of cards like Anti-Venom and Frigga and Victoria Hand do exactly that. You can't play an Anti-Venom deck without Anti-Venom. You can't play a Victoria Hand deck without Victoria Hand. You can't play a Frigga deck without Frigga. Yes, I do have room to take a deck submission or two. I'm also taking submissions for Strange Supreme after the rollover. We're gonna be doing a long stream today with drops going on. It's like we broke 2,000 viewers, so the plan is we're gonna be live until we fall back down below that number at some point tonight, or when I pass out, whichever comes first. Yes, spending based purely on power level because you think a card is busted with the way Marvel Snap does live balance is a good recipe for ending up in a bitter post on Reddit talking about how Marvel Snap has ruined everything for you because your cards are now just playable instead of busted. What are your thoughts on Isan is making it a 6-9 solve part of its problem? Absolutely not. Glenn Jones has commented multiple times that a card being 9 versus 10 has never been an improvement for it. You'd always rather have the extra points of power. Yes, Astra is Shang-Chi and all that, but Isan's problems aren't remotely related to the fact that it simply dies to Shang. Card's just not very good. Honestly, I feel like Isan's design space really feels like, I think he should probably be like a 5'8 or a 5'9. It feels like 5 energy cards tend to be lacking in Marvel Snap in general. I think Isan's design's like a prime candidate for this. Is probably a fine 5. How is Shadow King bad? Shadow King's solid. I think there's enough cards. God, that was such a terrible weapons facility for us. I think there's enough cards that Shadow King is good enough that you're happy to have him, and he technically undoes the Anti-Venom penalty, which is nice. I think I'll leave here. I think the movement matchup seems not great for us, even with Shadow King.
Escaped.
I've not unlocked Toxie. I will unlock her when my Twitch drops finish here in about an hour. So I think what you're misremembering, Tron, they didn't change Abomination from 10 to 9 to let it dodge Shang. What they did was they nerfed Shang from destroying 9 to destroying 10. And they commented they were leaving Abomination at 9 because they felt he was fine there with the dodge. Because when they changed Shang from 9 to 10, they also buffed a number of things from 9 to 10 to like keep equilibrium a little bit, for lack of a better term. Yeah, if you want to send a Doxy deck submission, I'd be fine with that. Oh my goodness, Lucas, my Lucas, where are you, buddy? Luke, old buddy, old pal. It's really important that I don't brick draws here, because if I draw Luke, we win on the spot. That is a big lady, gamers. Where do I want basic arrow? I don't think they can compete here, right? I think 4 more here is plenty. Well, they didn't compete center. We just get to play for a tiebreaker here. It's incredible for us, I think. When your 9 power brood isn't quite enough. Mirage is so good. It's It's crazy how many edge cases she ends up just putting a truckload of power into play. So many matchups where you're like, draw Mirage, and you're like, this is cracked. Part of Infinity Ultron's problem is that he has 4 subpar stones and their over-reliance on board space. It's not even just the over-reliance on board space for Infinity Ultron stones. The problem is that some of his stones have tension with each other, right? Like, Soul Stone explicitly wants you to fill the board up so you can have... Soul Stone explicitly wants you to fill the board up so you can have enough spaces to give extra points to. But then 2 of the other stones want you to have enough space so they can play 2 cards into the same spot. So, like, not only are the numbers are bad on Infinity Ultron. That's part of his problem, and they're addressing the numbers. But another part of it is the inconsistency in the effects that you're getting that are at odds with each other. So you have to play Infinity Ultron so late, you can't build your board in a way to appease both halves because the different halves want different things. I messed up playing Frigga on the left. I should have played her center. We got punished by a rocketing group, but we could have also been punished by a Cosmo here. Big mistake on my part. Yeah, I'll snap here. I think the comment that I should have snapped last turn was accurate. Am I moonstoning here? I could be miserying. Nah, I'm gonna moonstone. Moonstone. Going once, sold. I think we're not anti-venoming this game is the plan. Definitely snapped too late. We were talking about Infinity Ultron problems. See, Infinity Ultron is so bad, it cost me a cube in this game that he wasn't involved in. Like, that's how terrible this card is. Just to, like, fully articulate and put into words how absolutely trash Infinity Ultron is, he's losing me equity even when he's not in the game. Yes, Moonstone gets pulled to Asteroid M there, but we're not playing it into Asteroid M directly because there's a rocket and Groot there. Dara was playing Discard last time we queued into him with this avatar. My kingdom for global matchmaking in Marvel Snap. Ooh. We're probably supposed to leave here, but I really just don't like playing Marvel Retreat. Oh, I have Luke Cage against Bullseye, though. Got that going for me. It's really weird that he played these in this location when this was a perfectly good first location to play to. I might just be giving up the center here. Yeah, we're gonna Shadow King the Clintar in a second. Yeah, I think I want a Shadow King deck in. But I do have to duck priority to do it. The problem with Friggaing the Shadow King is I don't think I can throw priority while Friggaing the Shadow King. Is the complication that I think people are not understanding. Victoria, hand off the top, please. This Twitch stream is pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. Really appreciate everybody hanging out here today. Please cue the laugh track. I think this is enough on the right. I think this is enough on the right. Says how much? It's 8, 6, 6 is 20. It's 23. The Elysium really makes the output range here really difficult to count. Like, I think either of us could lose. Sniping. Dara's not sniping. His chat might be sniping for him, but Dara's certainly not. Ooh, Scornets on the right could get us. Yup. I think a second scored hit on the right gets us. We're a coin flip here. Bullseye 2. No, I have a loop cage. Okay, no, we were good regardless. So many animations, so little time. We've made back almost half of the snap points we lost trying to play Infinity Ultron and Captain Carter. I think we entered Infinite at like 8,200 points. We had a big spew at the start of the season. What's the best discard pile with Bullseye? The deck the previous opponent's playing is one of the better decks in the format. If you check my last couple of best decks roundups, one or both of it's in one or both of them. On the Hoaglandia. What's it called, channel? Hoaglandia Snap. Ooh, and this winning this means I get to go ahead and play Anti-Venom this turn. And get two 0 cost cards with Lucas. I think that's a snap.
Victory.
What's the newest card in the deck we're currently playing? Is it Moonstone? Moonstone was end of January, yeah? The newest card in here. This is card for card a deck we put together to play when I came back from my break. Yeah, Victoria was start of January. Moonstone was end of January. Misery was before those. Because Moonstone and Victoria were both released over my break. Misery was out before I took my break. But, like, I feel like something that I've talked about a bit that I think doesn't get considered enough is you often hear people talk about how they can't keep up with things in Marvel Snap. And it's really a testament to Second Dinner that, like, how many of these decks that are just all older cards remain competitive, right? Like, literally no cards from the last 3 months in here. Still a very reasonable pile of cards that I can play and enjoy. Can you replace Anti-Venom in this deck? I unfortunately think you lose a good bit of power in this build without Anti-Venom. Losing Anti-Venom makes your Friggas a bit weaker. And you lose synergy with Luke Cage as well. Yes, compared to more traditional card games like Pokemon Pocket, like the amount of power creep in Pokemon Pocket is, it's a lot. People love to blame their skill issues on not having the new cards. Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's some type of Nomura pile of cards here. Oh, you know what? I should have played Moonstone here because it's more energy efficient. I'm aware that Asteroid is happening, chat. I don't know why people are saying whoops. I guess I didn't articulate it out loud. So, like, you're confused because you'd have fucked it up. But I am very, very much aware that Asteroid M was happening. I was playing the Mr. Fantastic into the center because I needed to trigger the basic arrow. And then we're going to set up Moonstone plus ongoing cards over here next turn. Calm down.
All systems go.
I think it's this. This could be a total of 5, 7, 14 here. They're at 9. I guess Nomura beats us is the problem. Just on pure rate on the left. Yeah, I think we have to leave here.
Escape.
I guess I don't have big enough numbers. No matter how I slice it. You suppose a one-lane Luke-like card could be interesting. Luke was one lane at a previous point in Marvel Snap's history, and he was not playable. So, no. Ooh. Piece of candy. I think I bank this, yeah. Because if we top deck Victoria hand, we just go absolutely ape. I'm gonna copy this deck, yeah. Thanks for posting in chat, you'll be hearing from my lawyer. If you're gonna break the law, at least don't post about it on social media, gamers. Crap. How are we ever gonna win the left now? I want to hide Luke. I want to hide Luke till the end because they're a what's it called pile, yeah. This is a surfer. Cooked. Cooked! I would like my surfer opponent well done, please. I'd like to dedicate this game to the person who asked how Shadow King was earlier today. This one goes out to you.
Victory.
8,100 snap points, chat. It's been so long. Infinity Ultron took so much from me and my family. I'd forgotten what it was like to be at these height of heights. How do we win without Chang? Asking the real questions. Alright, so my tracker here says before we played that last game, we were 9-5, which means we finished 10-5 and up a bunch of cubes. Just fun and delicious. I love this deck. This deck is basically just like cards Jeff Hoagland enjoys playing in Marvel Snap. Like, I love the Victoria Frigga package. Nico Hood is fun. You get some tech cards to kick over your opponent's stuff in a couple of ways. A good way to spread points across the board. I will say this one's a tough one in terms of budget. You've got 6 higher series cards here that are all just kind of unique in their function. I think you could get away with not playing Moonstone in here. I think you obviously drop Fister-Mantastic if you're not playing Moonstone. But I think that one's not really required for full power level. In fact, these two together make you a little bit worse into opposing tech cards because, like, it makes you're easier to get got by Enchantress. But these other 5 are like pretty core in terms of power level, I think. This card is really good. I agree. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't eaten a Scorpion. I guess his play rate's not. What's this card's play rate? I don't think it's too high, right? Cards. Anti-Venom. Yeah, he's sub 5%. Very, very good metrics here. But that doesn't surprise me with his play rate being that low. Up to 6% when I slice it on the more competitive slice, but... Yeah, and he's a good cube equity card too, right? Which is a big part of him. Like, he's powerful because he lets you cheat on energy, and then cheating on energy lets you surprise your opponent more frequently. And he's another card that makes your Friggas better, right? Because Frigga can copy your zero energy cheating, which gives up some of your cube equity, but adds power to it too. So you have flexibility in the different ways you can approach that exactly. Sweet. All right, how close am I